Hello guys and welcome. It's Engineering Rebel, and in this video I am going to run my engine and I'm going to show you guys the plaque that I made for it. In this video I'm going to show you guys shots of the engine running, and I'm also going to show you guys the plaque that I made that's holding the fuel tank in, as well as some other accessories. So let's begin. Now before I start this engine, I'm going to show you guys the plaque that I built. Now obviously I wasn't just going to put the engine on the table, because when it runs it does vibrate and it would obviously fall over and it would damage the engine. So I built a plaque, I put it on this metal bracket, and then I also screwed it onto this piece of wood. I also cut these two pieces of wood and also screwed the fuel tank on that, and I ran that tube all the way into the fuel delivery of the carburetor. Then I have these wires, and this is the starting module over here, and this also powers the spark plug. This is the battery that's powering the starting module and the spark plug, and this is the button that would obviously turn the engine on. This tube that's going like this and into this little reservoir, this is the excess oil can. So the oil from the crankshaft, it would build up in the oil pan, and then all the excess oil would go through this tube into that reservoir. And I also zip tied it so it's very neat and tidy and it doesn't damage the fan or get in the way. And just for some of my viewers that are curious, this is a 9-volt drill battery, and I use these alligator clips to hook it onto my starting module. So one would obviously be your positive and the other would be negative, and I connected that to my starting module. And then this would be your ground, this would be your positive, this would be the negative, and that is what powers your starter motor. And finally, this piece right here on this bracket, this piece of wire is the ground, and this would be for the spark plug. So this engine has two grounds, one for the spark plug, which is this one, and the other one, which is here, this black and blue wire. Now I'm going to start the engine. Now this piece of tape is what's going to keep this piece of wood in place so it doesn't move about. And yeah, so let's get straight to the point. So all I need to do is push down the button, and then it should start up immediately, and to turn it off I would just cover the intake. So let's do it. Immediately. Compression and everything is working beautifully. The fuel, the spark. Let's rev it up. Let's see what it does. Oh yeah. This thing redlines at 13,500 RPMs, and there we go. I turned it off. Let's turn it back on again. Just by moving the throttle lever up and down, you would turn off the engine. So if I push it hard enough like I had done, the engine would turn off. Let's hear this thing redline. Now I'm going to film it from this angle. So throughout this video, I'll film multiple angles and probably maybe even take off the valve cover and see it with the valves moving up and down and make some slow motion shots. So let's see it from this angle. And for those of you who don't know, this engine idles at 3,000 RPM. So let's turn it on once more. Okay, so now let's start it from this angle, which is the back. So here's my starter button. That is the flywheel that is going. And you can see as the engine started, the starter clutch is disengaged. Let's rev it up. You can hear and feel every single little explosion. There's So I removed the valve cover, and this is the valve cover along with the valve cover gasket, and those are the rocker arms. So let's see if I can get some shots with the valve cover off. Okay, so now let's run it with the valve cover off. You ready? You can see the little valve sockets and how they're rotating. I think that's because of the way the spring is struck. Well, let's look at the engine after that run. So this is the oil catch can, and it's not full. It just has a little bit on the bottom, and the fuel has been eaten by, I would say, about a quarter of a tank. So, and everything else is relatively normal. Man, that was definitely a lot of fun. So my next video will probably be to remove the muffler and see if there's a difference. I'll probably have an app on my phone that'll measure the decibels. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. More videos are to come, and I'll see you guys in the next one.